It's time for the Dr. Cho Show, the show that helps you understand the latest and safest modern dental techniques for you and your family. You'll become an educated dental consumer and also learn about health trends outside of the dental industry. Here's your host, Dr. Dan Cho.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dr. Cho Show, your number one resource for everything related to your oral health. My name is Dr. Dan, and I wanted to talk about what is the order, when or what should I do first. I don't believe that to my knowledge, that there's any studies that really have shown and proved that, hey, this is this specific order. Again, of what I do know is that the really happening. If you're doing brushing, flossing, and even mouth rinsing, really at the end of the day, it does not matter what order that you're doing it, because you're doing it and your teeth are overall going to be in a much better and healthier state. Now, what I recommend to all my patients is to floss first, and then to use a mouth rinse, and then to brush. And the kind of thought process behind that is, by flossing first, it removes a lot of the bugs and bacteria, or removes the biofilm from in between the teeth. Then after that, you can use a mouth rinse, which helps to kind of clean everything, or remove the bugs and bacteria from the other areas of the mouth. And then brushing last is kind of the most important thing. The reason for that is, once you've cleaned in between the teeth with the floss, then what can happen is it actually has the ability to go in between the teeth and isn't getting blocked by that bacterial biofilm, and can actually, the active ingredient can actually sit on the teeth and actually has an anti-cavity effect. If the biofilm and all that plaque is already still sitting on the teeth, it won't be able to have direct contact with the teeth, and it's not going to be as effective. So if you don't mouth rinse, or you don't use it, or you don't have a need for it, then I always recommend flossing first and then brushing. It's just what overall just makes the most sense to me. But like I mentioned before, at the end of the day, really, if you're doing them, that's going to be the most important thing. So as far as frequency, it's pretty straightforward. Twice daily, generally in the morning. More importantly, as at night, it is very crucial and important that you definitely want to do it at night. If you work third shift, then before you go to bed. The reason for that is, at night or whenever you sleep, the salivary content, the salivary flow ends up being reduced, and anything that isn't cleaned off at night ends up just sitting on your teeth overnight, and that can really speed up a lot of cavities. And so that's also the reason why morning breath actually exists, is because a lot of the bugs and bacteria just kind of sits in your mouth overnight, even after kind of brushing it and flossing. And so the most important thing, again, is at night, in between the two. That's not to say you should skip the other one, but if you had to, let's say hypothetically you could only do one, and definitely pick the one at night. Now, is there a need to do this after eating? Now, it is ideal that after any time that you eat or have a snack or anything like that, that yes, you would actually, go through the oral hygiene. You do want to wait at least half an hour, about 30 to 60 minutes, to wait for the pH to neutralize. But this tends to be very impractical for most people. A lot of people don't have the time or ability, even myself. There are going to be a lot of days where I just can't do it, and so it's not absolutely 100% critical for that to happen. Some of the things you can do that to help kind of reduce your cavity right after eating is, first one is to just vigorously swish with tap water after eating. Now, I say tap water specifically because there are some bottled waters out there that have a low pH, and general rule of thumb is, the longer that your mouth is in a lower pH, the more it's kind of that cavity acidic forming state. And so the other thing that you can do is also chew sugar-free gum. That helps to kind of dislodge some of the food that's getting stuck in between, particularly the biting surface. But it also helps to increase the salivary flow as well. Using certain types of mouth rinses or things like that can also be helpful during that time. And those things are really not that difficult to do after you eat. Most people have access to water, running water. Bottled water is better than nothing, and most people can carry around a pack of gum. And in addition, it makes your breath a little bit fresh, so you don't give anybody any I don't know, jalapeno breath or something like that. Although some people might like that. Not here to judge. So, like I did mention before, one of the things that can happen is every time that you really eat really anything, it does put your mouth in kind of that acidic cavity forming state. And like I mentioned before, if those that snack frequently, they tend to or are going to be more susceptible to getting cavities because if it the more that if you're eating something like even a little bit of an apple like every hour or something like that, your mouth doesn't really get a chance to recover from that kind of acidic state. And if it's always in that acidic state, then you're going to be kind of more prone to getting cavities. Now, I am in no way suggesting that if you're not hungry or if you're really famished that you should not eat. If you do kind of really have to eat really frequently, if you're eating 5 meals a day or something like that, then just go back to what I mentioned earlier and just drink your juice with water or choose chewing gum or something like that. Something to kind of help kind of keep the cavities overall at bay. So that overall is in a nutshell. So like I had mentioned earlier, if you want to find out how to get over $100 off the retail price of the Oral-B IO spin brush, all you got to do is give my office a call, 503-646-4600. You could also email us at info at lifebloomdental.com, lifebloomdental.com, or you can go to our website, Portland's Dentist, that's PORTLANDS dentist.com. And just give me a contact, give us a call, shoot us an email, and say, hey, I want to see how I can get to over $100 off kind of retail of that. And so that is it. Hope this was helpful. It's always surprising to hear that there are people out there that have just never been taught how to do this, but kind of looking at it, it's kind of one of those things where it hasn't taxes or something like that. There's not at least when I went through high school, there was no class about taxes or anything like that. We just kind of had to figure it out ourselves. And it's kind of same thing with brushing. It's like, hey, I'm brushing and flossing, but there is a proper way to do it. There are ways to be more effective, like I had previously mentioned. And so if you have any questions about any of that, feel free to give us a call. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day, and we'll chat next time. All right, bye.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Cho Show. If you have any questions for Dr. Cho, you can reach him at www.portlandsdentist.com or by calling his office at 503-646-4600, or feel free to send him an email at info@lifebloomdental.com.